great state of Louisiana with mail day number 81. I've got a fun video for you today. There's some really interesting stuff in this one, I must admit. You're going to like this one. We're going to start off with I think it's a monster. I think it's a banger. It's the 1996 Skybox Premium Larger Than Life. There's another Larger Than Life that's pretty rare, but not as rare as this one. This one is super unique. The card you're looking at here is from 1996 Skybox Premium. There's the front, there's the back. I wish I could kind of tilt that, but I can't. It's really hard to get a great picture of the card and what it looks like. It's really simple. It's almost like elegantly simple, sort of like the dynamic dunks or some of those other cards where they kind of let Jordan do the talking. But it's got Jordan written in script, and it's got Michael and Michael there, Jordan there, and then Larger Than Life sort of in those glowing letters below it, and then you got Mike right there. I haven't held the card in hand, so I haven't got a great look at it, but that's what the back looks like as well. But here's what I want to show you, some weird stuff. So I got a PSA 8, right? I collect cards in PSA 8 and then I also collect high-end. If I found a PSA 10 Larger Than Life, I'd be very interested. But this was a PSA 8 that came my way from a really good collector, and doggone it, I wrote his name down there. Oh, it's Bench Mob Chicago. Bench Mob Chicago reached out to me on IG and said, hey, look, I picked up another one. I thought you might be interested in this one. It's a PSA 8, and I know you collect PSA 8s. I've seen your channel and seen your post on Instagram. Hell yeah, I'm interested. And I was like, I was thinking it was like, super cheap card. Not a cheap card. Not a cheap card, number one. And also a super rare card. This is what I've got. When I pull up the sales history and card ladder for PSA 8s, I was trying to comp the card, and I was like, bro, I don't have a comp since 2009 for a PSA 8. I was like, what the hell is going on? I don't remember this card being this rare. And as you can see, it sold for $25 there, $61 there. If you click card ladder's like it's worth maybe $800, but there's zero confidence in that estimation because that was 14 years ago. But if you look at the PSA pop reports, here's the PSA 8 right here. You can see it's a pop 8. There's two 8.5s, 3 9s, and no 10s. The card has only been graded 21 times ever by PSA, period, in any grade ever. It's a 1 in 3,240 pack odds. But those pack odds are high. Don't get me wrong, those are tough pack odds. But it still seems like there should be more of these graded by PSA than just 21 of them. So I think we got a deal done. I'm trying to remember. I think I was right at 1,000, maybe just a shade under $1,000. I need to go check my spreadsheets. I don't want to misquote it, but very appreciative. And I think I owe. I think when I paid, I calculated the goods and services wrong, and so I owe him 2 beers. So I owe Bench Mob Chicago. You've got me on the record. I owe you 2 beers when I get to Chicago for the National, and you got it. We will make sure we square that away. Going back, anyway, that's the first card. Sort of a really interesting card in my opinion. Really happy to grab it in a PSA 8 for that PSA 8 collection that I've got going. The next one's is overgraded a card as there is in the world, almost as overgraded as the 1990s. The 1989 Fleer, I say overgraded, overprinted is what I mean. 1989 Fleer, PSA 8. I have the 10. I needed the 8 for my PSA 8 collection. Like I said, I'm running the gambit. I am putting an army of PSA 8 Jordans together, base, inserts, subsets, parallels, whatever. And so I needed that one, added it for probably $11, $10, something like that. I think this is a unique card. It's just a regular old base 1995 Flair Jordan card, but I like it. It's card number 235. I have a PSA 10. I need the PSA 8. Same drill. So paid very little for this one. I'm not really sure. I don't recall because it wasn't a number that really meant much to me, but I assure you it was less than $50. Probably $20, $30. This one I thought was cool pickup. It's not a refractor per se, but it's a 1997 Topps Bound for Glory, sort of one of those refractor-like, foil-ish-like cards. I think it's just a good-looking card. It's got Jordan the black pinstripes. The back of it is going to be tough to grade with about 35, 40, 50% of it being the black edges, and 3 of the 4 are black corners. Not perfectly centered on the front. That's why it's PSA 8. That's why I'm happy to have it. So added this Topps 1997 Bound for Glory to the collection as well. The next is, had this in a PSA 10, needed in a PSA 8. Again, features the Bulls starting 5. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman here for a 96 Upper Deck. Kukoc, Ron Harper on the back. And it even shows you how they got there and when they got there. Jordan, of course, was drafted in 84 with the 3rd pick of the draft behind the Dream and the great Sam Bowie, University of Kentucky shout out. Pippen was acquired via trade with Seattle. I can't remember who was in that trade. I should know this because I've heard it a million times, but I don't know why I'm thinking Benoit Benjamin, but I don't think that's right. But Pippen was traded for a bag of chips and some old nut hairs. And then Rodman was acquired in a trade with San Antonio. They were done with him, right? The classiest organization in the world is like, we can't deal with this shit anymore. So take him. He's yours. And so the Bulls got a chance to grab Rodman from San Antonio in a trade. Of course, Kukoc was drafted and stashed over there in the 1990 NBA draft, then came over post Dream Team Olympics where Jordan and Pippen harassed him for that gold medal. And then Ron Harper was signed as a free agent in 1994, who everybody thought he was on the downside of his career, but he was a great defender, just a solid point guard, just a do everything, glue guy, really good guy. And so happy to pick up that PSA. It's a lot of talk about a $15, $20 card. I grabbed this because I thought it had a chance to crack and regrade. This is the 1996 EX2000 net assets. I got it for a crazy good price. I should have that number, but I don't have it in front of me. Like I said, it's on my spreadsheet off screen to the right. So I will crack this and I will resubmit it to PSA and hope somehow to I don't know, maybe get a PSA 8 somehow. I don't know. I need to look at it. So I'm going to request this to be shipped back here with some of the raw cards that I have in my PWCC vault. I'm hoping maybe there's something wrong with it that I can kind of fix up, maybe with a white down or something like that. The corners aren't perfect. I can see some whitening right there. So maybe I crack it and I waste $20 and I comes back to PSA 6 again. But even if it bumps to a PSA 7 for $20-25 with shipping and insurance is probably worth it. I can't tell if the coloring's bad or if that's just a bad picture. The coloring might be bad. One of the common occurrences you see on these net assets is these net strings get stained-ish, almost like a red, kind of a rusty stain on those, and I can definitely see that. I don't know if there's a way to treat that or care for that. Let me know in the comments if you've got any tips or tricks, but you can even see it on the back. It's almost like somebody spilled ketchup on it and then wiped it off. But this is just a crack and resub play where I'm just trying to make a few bucks. I've got the card in a PSA 10, needed to pick it up in a PSA 8, so I figure I'll take one bite at the apple here. I'll probably get burned. It may come back a PSA 4. Shit, I don't know. Who knows? I've not had great luck with PSA lately, but that's a crack and resub shot in the dark. Next is this really cool card. This is a 98 Stadium Club Royal Court. This is the card that I remember the most vividly from when I went to the National, because I picked up the PSA 10, I think for right at $1,000. I picked up the PSA 10 Stadium Club Royal Court. That might not be right on that price, but here it is. I've got the PSA 10 here. I remember buying this from a dealer at the National, right across from Josh and John's table, the at Midwest Vintage Cards table, the 90sauctions.com guys. And then this is the PSA 10 copy that I have, and then I added this PSA 8 copy. So no, I'm set. I'm done with that. So I got the Royal Court. I'm set with that. I know there's another year Royal Court, and I know it's really tough. It's like a pop 1 or something in PSA 10. So I don't know how I'm going to make that happen, but it's on my radar. We'll see what I can do. 1996 Upper Deck base card with Sean Elliott and David Robinson somewhat contesting. Jordan's wearing the Concord 11s. I needed that in a PSA 8, so I grabbed it. Some of these I picked up. I can't remember if I picked up off Golden or off the PWCC Weekly, but these are little babies where I'm just kind of chipping away, just kind of stacking them up. And then a big card, right? So I picked up this Upper Deck Behind the Glass. This is a relatively big card. There's 17 there's 17 BGS 9.5 gem mint, and then there's 18 PSA 10s. I picked up the BGS 9.5 because the price is spared. It was so great. The last PSA 10 jumped to $14,000 on New Year's Day this year. Okay, so $14,000. I picked up this BGS 9.5 right here for $14.40. Can y'all see that on your screen? It was a dip down from 3 days after January 1st, right? From January 4th, it was $16.61. I picked it up for $14.40. That's like 1/10 of what the PSA 10 sold for. It's the same pop. Again, mine's a minimum gem with a 9 for corners, but it's just I just could not envision myself buying a PSA 10 for $14,000 or even $10,000 or even $8,000 for this particular card. That's just me. It's not a common card. It's only been graded a little over, almost a little shy of 800 times by PSA and BGS. The gem rate for PSA is 3.2. The gem rate for BGS is 7.7. It's because it's got this foil surface everywhere. You can't hide it. There's nothing to hide. There's chipping is going to be a problem. That's what the front looks like. That's what the back looks like. I like my copy. Again, none of these are ever going to be perfect. Hopefully a lot of those blemishes that you see, it's just because it's such a high def image. Hopefully those are on the slab itself. I think it's quite likely that they are. But happy to pick it up for that price point. I thought was a good price point. Again, if that wasn't there, I would be the guy that's kind of jumped it from $550. But who knows? It's up 3,000% all time. So seems like a pretty good investment. So next on the list is Topps Gold Label, Black Label. This card I posted on Instagram yesterday. Again, that'll be a week ago if you're watching this video. I posted on Instagram a copy of this card. This is the Topps Gold Label, Black Label. There's the gold label base. There's a gold label, red label. There's a gold label, black label. This is the black label, and the reason you can tell is because that right there, the verbiage, the wording, Topps Gold Label is in black, and so it's kind of confusing when you hear gold label, black label. You're like, well, which is it? But it's both. Gold label is the name of the product. Black label is the type of parallel that it is. And the reason this card is super relevant and important is I picked it up from the great Jake Roy. 90s B-ball cards, amazing collector, 90s savant, just a stand-up guy and a good friend of mine who I'm also looking forward to seeing. He's been on my channel a couple times now, I think, and I'm always happy to host him, always happy to have him. But I will see him in Chicago at the National in a couple of months. I can't believe it's only a couple months away. It's April, May, June, July. Damn, we're almost there. That's crazy. But Jake was kind enough to do me a solid on this one. He knew I collected 8s, and he reached out, and we locked it up. And then next is another copy. So if I think you're probably watching these mail days. This might be maybe it was last weekend, but I picked up 2 copies of this card. I just think it's awesome. I just think it looks like it's from the 60s, to be honest with you, because of those shitty ass Bulls uniforms that Jordan was forced to wear. That's got to be the worst looking uniform I've ever seen in my life. But this is the 1990 Kenner starting lineup, yellow, PSA 8 Jordan. He looks like he's 17, 18 years old. He was a little bit older than that, but man, does he look young. But I picked up a second copy of the PSA 8, so I have 2 of these PSA 8s, and the price was good. I put in a super low bid, and I just kind of snatched it, one of those deals, so I was happy to get it. And then the last card is the most baffling card to me. Whenever I tell you guys this all the time, if you watch my channel, you know, if I don't know something or understand something, I tell you I don't know it or I don't understand it. I don't know what the hell's going on with this card. I haven't put in the time to truly research this card and the various parallels or types of versions of this card from this product. But let me just show you what I do know, okay? So here's the card itself. Do I have it? No, I don't have it pulled up. So here's the card itself, right? We're looking at the card. There it is. The 1995 Finest Michael Jordan Mystery Gold Refractor. I don't see any gold anywhere, so that's the first place that I get confused. But it says Gold Refractor. No, this is the borderless, I think. I think this is the borderless, but I'm about to confuse myself even more. There's your card. Anyway, that's the card that I picked up. Got a deal done, I think, on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to show you why I'm confused. So mine is the Mystery Gold Refractor 1995 Finest. So you see up here, it says 1995 Finest Mystery. It's card M1. There's the base. Watch, this is not a base. It's a refractor. We know that. So it's not that. Bordered test refractor. It's definitely not that. It's not a test refractor. It's not labeled as such. Borderless gold refractor. That's what I have. So that's my card. So my PSA 8 is a Pop 73 out of maybe around 250 that have ever been graded without a qualifier. Okay. So there's my card right there. The Michael Jordan Borderless Gold Refractor. There is also a Borderless Silver, which I would like to see and put next to it to compare because those sound the same. And it doesn't say refractor after this. So I don't know if that means it's the silver is a base or the silver is a refractor, because every other one that's a refractor says refractor, but this one doesn't. So I'd like to see a borderless silver next to this gold refractor. Then there is an orange bordered, which I am familiar with. I have seen that. Then there's the orange bordered refractor, which is badass, which looks really cool. The bordered test refractor, if I'm not mistaken, also looks orange as far as I can recall, but I may be wrong about that. I don't know. Then there is something just called unpeeled. And I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know if it's a refractor, if it's not a refractor, if it's orange, if it's silver, if it's gold, if it's base. I don't know. There's only 6 of those in the pop report, so I don't know if this is just like a PSA screw up where some of these had a peel or didn't have a peel and the peel was not taken. I don't know what that means. I have no clue what that means. If it's just the base card that comes with a peel on it, and the base card may not even come with a peel on it. I have no idea because I'm not familiar with the product. And I told you, I plead ignorance. If the base card came unpeeled with a coating on it, there would be a hell of a lot more than 6 of them in the pop report. So this looks like some PSA screw up or something like that. Here's where I get more confused. PSA has this, the 1995 Finest Mystery. PSA also has something called 1995 Topps Mystery Finest. And I don't know if it's the same thing, if it's an overlap and they need to be merged, but this one also has a separate pop report. And there's an M1, and then there's an M1 refractor. Does anybody know if Topps Mystery Finest was actually a completely different product from 1995 Finest Mystery? I have no idea, and I could probably ask Frankie at 3500 or Stan or Josh Dawson or one of those guys, or Nat, I guess. But if you look at it right here, it looks like they're listed twice. So there's my 1995 Finest Mystery, and that's the way my card's labeled, right? I'm looking at it right here. Wait, where is it? There it is. Yeah, that's the way my card's labeled right there, right? You can see it. Very simple, okay? And then you have, so 95 Finest, and then down at the bottom it says Mystery. And then down here, there's Topps Mystery Finest, which sounds the same. And I know Topps made Finest, but I don't know if that's a totally different set or what. So maybe you guys can help me out in the comments below. Like I said, sometimes I buy cards, I don't even know what I'm buying. But anyway, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me give you a quick rundown again. So going back to our list, pretty cool mail day if you ask me. So this is super rare, super low pop. Hasn't sold in a PSA 8 in 14 years. We had to come up with a price, which was really fun, but we got a deal done. Pop 8 with 5 graded higher. That's the 96 larger than life. Couple of baby 8s. The Bound for Glory is a pretty cool 8. The Net Assets is a Kraken resub investment venture. The PSA 8-10 pairing is now complete for the Stadium Club Royal Court. The Behind the Glass, I decided to opt for the BGS 9.5 Min Gem to avoid that massive premium for the PSA where it jumped to $14,000 first day of this year. The Black Label from Jake at 90s B-Ball Cards. A second duplicate copy of the starting lineup yellow, and then the weird mystery gold refractor, Finest Mystery, whatever it is. It is a mystery. In fact, it's labeled right. It's a mystery, all right. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm putting these out pretty much every Saturday and Sunday. My buying habits are going to slow down because of some asshole named Biden who just took a bunch of my money just before April 15th. So I don't have quite as much money to spend on Jordan stuff. So I'm going to have to hibernate for a little while. We'll see how I modify it. But I've got some cards that are selling right now. So I should have a little bit of a nest egg going. I've had to put my Jordan Grail hunt at the National on hold for sure because of the big check I had to stroke to our good friend Joe F. Biden. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.